Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pit and Paddock Racing Show for the first regular episode of 2025.
It's a rough start.
I know. Well, we're starting with NASCAR and Daytona. As Ricky Bobby says, it's time to shake the snake.
No, that's shake and bake. I don't.
Oh.
That'll get you put on like a watch list.
Shake the snake?
Yeah.
That could be taken as inappropriate. Well, it was Lucky Lord Byron making it a two-peat in Jeff Gordon's car after a last lap desperate crash by like 9 of the top drivers, just all gone.
He was in, was it 9th or 10th on the backstretch of the last lap, and then
Yep. He probably calculated from the last race. All right, what position tends to not get crashed out on the last lap?
Everyone's just turns into a crapshoot on the last lap, as your most prestigious race should, I guess.
Yeah. Do they still put restrictor plates in them, or is that just full power for the current gen car?
What are they call it a spacer or something now. It's not a restrictor plate, but it has the same effect where they have, I think it drops them down to like 450 horsepower or something.
Oh.
From 7 or 650. So they're very underpowered.
You could probably put the Tesla Plaid out there and hang with them.
Probably.
Well, let's back up and talk about the weekend, starting with qualifying.
Exciting qualifying Wednesday night. Chase Briscoe and Austin Cindric not locked down the first and second starting position on Wednesday. And then the rest of the field was set up in the duels Thursday night. Duel number 1, Helio crashed out for the first of many times over the weekend.
I'm so shocked.
Bubba Wallace got the win in the first race. That's his first win in over a year.
In the McDonald's car.
Yeah. And then it was nice to get back into the groove of Fox having way too many commercials during the race. That was fun.
It's like the Indy 500. Well, I think even the Indy 500 has less commercials in this race.
Oh, the Indy does it all side by side too, if they have, and most of them are under caution when they do full commercials.
Yeah, that's true.
Race number 2, Buescher blocked Cindric for the lead and causes a massive wreck, taking out Bowman, Brad Keselowski, and Daniel Suarez.
That's what the fans want to see.
And then, coming in the last lap, Eric Jones wins the race by about 2 feet. But hold on a second, we're gonna wait on this, and NASCAR is gonna argue about it for about 10 minutes, and then they're gonna decide while Eric Jones is celebrating under the flag stand that they threw the caution out about 6 feet before the start-finish line. So he was not the winner.
Oh. I feel like somebody from the NBA manages the whole Daytona weekend. Just try and drag it out like they do at the playoffs. Like playoffs are longer than the regular season now.
Oh yeah.
They've just figured out how to drag out the Daytona weekend.
I don't understand. I wish they would have a little consistency with their cautions. Like the race, there was that massive crash. They just let it go green.
They did.
But then in the dual race, there's a crash. We're going to throw the yellow about 6 feet before the start-finish line and switch around the race finish. But
isn't that what drivers complain about the most?
Yes.
They could just be pretty much every race series I've ever seen.
Can we have some consistency in how we're going to do cautions?
Do they do professional race stewards in NASCAR? It's not like on per race like Formula One.
They have the same people that always do it, usually a little mostly wrong. Yeah. But it's the same people. It's not a rotating group like Formula One had for a while, which was kind of a mess.
But there's a France sitting up in a booth somewhere going, no, throw, no, we're going to change the rule this time because I'm with the France family and we own NASCAR.
Yes.
We can do what we want. If you want to be on our platform, you have to follow the community rules.
Reminds me of the Dale Jr.'s about to go a lap down debris cautions back in the 2000s. The privateers making it in the race: Corey LaJoy, Justin Allgaier in the much-hyped Dale Jr.'s Cup Series debut. Martin Truex, Jimmy Johnson, and Helio all made it in. Helio with his special provisional that the NASCAR invented.
He didn't really have to try hard. He just kind of made it in.
No, after he crashed out of the dual race, that was all he got. So it knocked out Chandler Smith, J.J. Yaley, Anthony Alfredo, and B.J. McLeod, who no one's ever heard of, so it's not that big of a deal.
When I was little, there was a TV show called BJ and the Bear. Like a trucker and a monkey. I think the monkey was Bear.
What an interesting premise for a show.
It was right after the whole convoy thing was super popular, and then they made a convoy movie, and then the convoy TV series came out.
They should be a little more careful about what they're green lighting.
It got at least a season. Everybody thought truckers were the coolest thing on earth.
No.
Now I just curse at them when they jump out in front of me on the 2-lane road and make me wait 5 minutes while they pass another truck.
That's usually going up a hill where they want to go about 2 miles an hour faster.
Yeah,
So
coming out of Kingman on the 40. The 40's the worst. You should try going to Albuquerque on the 40. Those dudes don't care.
I'm going to pass this guy over the course of 25 minutes.
Yeah. You know, and I'm good to the truckers. I always give them a wide berth because, they're trying to make a living. Especially on roundabouts.
Oh.
They make those roundabouts are way too small for truckers.
That kind of sucks.
Oh, anyway, back to NASCAR.
Oh, well.
ARCA, they had an ARCA race.
Oh, that was a poor decision. First of all, having an ARCA race. They apparently can't make it 10 laps without some sort of massive accident and crashing.
I'm sure ARCA's coming back then.
Oh, they'll be there. God. And they put it on network television, too. What a terrible choice. Well, my favorite part about the ARCA race was, Helio crashed, obviously. But the winner was a guy named Butterbean, and the trophy was a giant margarita shaker, which I thought was awesome.
Is he the guy that fought Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it's a different one. But that's who I thought of first. I saw a picture of him with his giant margarita shaker at a Waffle House celebrating his victory after the race, so that was pretty awesome.
What does a giant margarita shaker have to do with Daytona?
I think the race was sponsored by Chili's Margaritas or something.
Oh, so if you're a big sponsor, you get to pick the trophy?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's where some fun trophies come in.
What if it's a Viagra race?
Ooh. Be careful. Well, Helio only crashed 3 times in the ARCA race. After the race was over, someone rear-ended him and crashed him. So,
just for fun?
Yeah, apparently.
Like, what are you doing in our neighborhood, IndyCar boy?
Just taking shots at him, I guess.
Okay.
Cletus McFarland had is an early candidate for quote of the year. After he crashed out, he said,
"Well, I was having the best day of my life, ripping around Daytona like a bald eagle. I was flat out, avoided a wreck, which was awesome. I thought I was the best driver to ever exist in that moment. And it's probably because my sleeves were cut off that I was able to pull off that maneuver, come down pit road. Then someone slammed into my rear left quarter, spun me out, lived through that, got some fresh tires, went back out of there. I'm hot dogging into 1 and 2, and the car lost it in front of me, and I saw it, didn't have enough brakes to get slowed down before it, and tried to go around it, misread it, zigged instead of zagged when I should have zagged, and I zigged, and bam, blew the front end right off my hot rod.
His name, his name is like a NASCAR, like you could not ask for a better NASCAR driver name.
I found out he's a YouTuber. So
is
that's
he?
his YouTuber name. His real name is something else, but that makes more sense for NASCAR.
I'd definitely go with Cletus McFarland.
Then he mentioned something about he's going to cut his sleeves even shorter when he comes back in Talladega. I don't know. I'm a fan.
How did he make it into the race? If he's a YouTuber?
Yeah. He's run local
I guess it's not too hard to get into ARCA, huh?
No, you just need a pocket of cash, like $50,000, and you can buy whatever seat you want.
Ooh, we should have a special series to raise $50,000 and put one of us in a ARCA race.
I don't want to die.
Stay away from Talladega, you'll be fine. Do like a Martinsville ARCA race.
They don't know what brakes are.
Well, on to the race. So it ended with the massive crash, but Lucky Lord Byron earned his nickname all over again. If you watch the replay, when the crash starts, the crashing car that kind of started it all out, who was it that hit the wall? Now I forget all of a sudden.
Somebody, I think, knocked Bell into the wall.
Yeah. Bell hits the wall, goes sliding back, and then misses Lucky Lord Byron by like 2 centimeters.
Somehow hits every other car that's in the top 7, and then Byron him and Reddick slide by.
Bell, afterwards, they're like, I want you to go out and hit the pace car, because you've hit everything else on this track.
Jeez.
It started good. Trump came.
The started out pretty cool with the Air Force One flyover, and Donald Trump leading the pace laps, which means he's now more successful than Kyle Busch in the Daytona 500.
Was he actually driving the car, or was he just in the back?
No, he was in the back waving.
It would have been a lot better if he was driving it.
They didn't bring it up on the banking either. I was like, we gotta floor it, get it up there, see what it can do. I bet it goes pretty quick.
When do you think the last time is that Donald Trump had to drive? Not including a golf cart.
Oh, I was gonna say probably that morning if it was a golf cart.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Like,
when's the last time he drove a vehicle on a road?
I don't think he even drove when he was off for 4 years.
Probably not since he got the nomination in 2015, 16, whatever.
And even then, when he lived in New York, he probably didn't drive himself. He probably had a driver.
I know. I've seen pictures of him with like a McLaren or some fancy sports car when he was in his 40s, so maybe 50s.
Is that the one where he's got a cool flip phone?
Yeah.
And
The brick phone.
It looks...
Yeah, it would have been better if he would have drove it and then maybe hit the wall a couple times going around with the big Secret Service limo.
I bet that car could take some hits.
Oh, yeah. You might want to just drive that in the Daytona.
A little bump drafting.
Yeah, just plow through everybody to the front.
Well, the race got off to a great start with a rain delay after 8 laps. So that was about 3 hours long, which I think that makes this like the 4th straight year that rain has affected the Daytona 500.
Well, it is almost spring, so it tends to rain, plus you're in Florida.
They're going to need to build a roof or something over that place. I'm getting tired of it. So they got back racing. Just kidding, lap 20 it started raining again, so that was another 20-minute red flag. But finally, they actually did get back to it by the time it was, I don't know, it was about dark outside by then. Joey Logano took the stage 1 under yellow after Josh Berry got in the wall. And then I believe at the beginning of stage 2, Logano's engine, there's some kind of issue where he had to pit. He lost a lap pitting, went a lap down.
Yeah, they changed something out, and then that didn't fix it.
No, they finally got it fixed eventually, but...
It was a hot dog wrapper.
Hot dog wrapper on the...
Or some kind of plastic. See, now NASCAR's going to think it's vindicated for all the hot dog wrapper debris cautions.
That's true.
So, see, it could cost somebody a race if we don't throw yellow and let Dale Jr. get his lap back.
He did eventually get his lap back.
Who is the like big favorite that they always want to let him get their lap back? Dale Jr.'s gone, so I don't know.
There's
nobody that popular.
Yeah, Chase Elliott maybe.
Hmm.
Stage 2 was taken by Ryan Blaney. More Penske domination. And then towards the end of the race, lap 196 was when Cole Custer got into Christopher Bell and caused that massive accident.
Was that really Custer's fault?
No. It's everybody's fault.
He seemed like he was just looking for a friend.
Let's go. Oh, sorry.
Like he popped out too early and then he wanted to get back in line.
That's most of what causes the wreck.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Preece, who must be tired of TV constantly showing the replay of him flipping last year, decided to create a brand new flip to show on repeat.
Oh, he did quite the wheelie.
It was like 100 yards just on 2 wheels. And then that ended up taking out Brad Keselowski, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott. So we got a small field for the overtime shootout, I guess.
I didn't hear much about Kyle Larson in this race. He's not really a big track guy, is he?
He always manages to, not do well at the super speedways. I don't know what it is. It's just never works out.
Huh. Is it the Chevy motor? No, because Bell was way up. Well, that was a Toyota.
Just doesn't make the right moves or something. Maybe if they covered it with dirt, he would do a little better.
Yeah, he's more about actual racing and not just following in a line all day.
That's probably it. Looked like the Fords were going to take it on the last lap, going into, I would say, the backstretch. No, on the front stretch, it was Riley Herbst who spun out, got knocked into the infield. I was expecting a caution, but he saved it and it stayed green, so that was interesting. And then on the backstretch is when all hell broke loose, and the Fords all took themselves out. Penske cars were gone, and Byron and Reddick waved past them.
You think Roger was pissed, or he's just like, stupid Daytona?
I feel like every other Daytona race is the Penske's have the best car, and the crash takes them all out or something.
Yeah, Blaney was in, I almost said Dave Blaney, but that was sprint cars. Blaney, he was in really good position to win. Like, he was in a good spot, and then he got taken out.
He was up there all day. All the Penske cars were hanging around the front most of the day. He probably could have won if not for that massive accidents.
What does Penske have to do?
I don't know. Maybe they can get their engineers to work on some kind of push to not crash button. They seem to be pretty good at that.
So like a snowplow kind of thing,
Yeah,
like a cow catcher, on a train.
Hit a button. Airbags surround the vehicle for like 15 seconds.
Yeah,
they can just make it through, or just stay away from Ricky Stenhouse. Either one would work.
Oh yeah, Ricky hosed him, didn't he? That was was that Ricky's fault, or was that Joey's fault?
Well, I'll blame Joey, but it was both of them. We've got laps to go in Daytona, and we're not going to give up a spot. And then, that was interesting that that massive crash, and they let it go green from the backstretch all the way to the front, especially after the dual race. Doesn't make any sense to me.
We're keeping it green.
Yes.
F it, we're keeping it green.
It's
Flagman's up there. I got a pizza ordered. Come on.
We've been here for 12 hours. Let's go.
Let's just keep it green. Well, the question is, does the pack racing need to be eliminated? I mean, it feels like it's too much finding a BFF and dumb luck to win these races, instead of being the fastest car and the best driver.
So I don't think the winner of your biggest race should be completely random. I mean, like Indy requires like a mix of talent, car, strategy, and a bit of luck. Where Daytona is like 95% luck and 5% talent, car, and strategy, pretty much. And it's like, well, that's kind of ridiculous for your top race of the season.
NASCAR's always been mostly show.
Yeah.
Out of the three, they're more show than Indy and F1.
It seems like it's gotten worse in the last 15 years. Like, even in the 90s to 2000, you would still get quality drivers winning these races for the most part. Like Gordon and Earnhardt Jr. type of, Dale Jarrett. But now it's like, whoever. I don't know. Anybody can win it.
Whoever. Didn't I predict third place would be like some unknown driver that survives the big one at the end?
Jimmy Johnson?
Jimmy Johnson. unknown NASCAR. He's the unknown IndyCar driver.
Yeah, superstar IndyCar driver Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
I think the fuel saving also makes it a lot worse, where they're like running at 70 to 80% throttle, which is why they look so close. I mean, it makes for a good look on TV. You think, oh, look at this cars, they're so close, but they're all, backed off. And you can tell when someone goes full throttle because they'll go up on the third lane and you can see them drive to the front. Someone's just like, I want to lead a lap. Here we go.
Well, what about like an extended fuel tank just for this race so that nobody really gets an advantage by saving fuel?
That would be great. Just we're all gonna have a massive fuel tank. You get to fill it up once, and it should last the whole race. You don't have to worry about it.
You get a drop tank, like fighter planes do,
Fuel.
so you can go further.
Yeah. When it's done, you just dump it out. Well, that's probably not safe, but
Just you have a launcher and it goes to the infield. Or, they could pop it off in the pits. I don't know. Just go like the 80s and get a really long fuel hose. Winding all over the place so you can get that extra gallon of fuel in there.
something. God, I'm tired of fuel saving at this race. Usually it's fun strategy at a normal size track, but this one where you're backed off the entire time, it's like, come on.
But how did Elio end up doing? He got taken out completely, didn't he, in that third crash? Because I did not see him back in the race.
He got hit early. They fixed his car, and he raced until the last one, and he finally crashed out. I feel like someone told him that you could make contact when you're driving a stock car, and he decided to test that.
At Daytona?
Yes.
Not the place you want to make a lot of contact at.
I saw that Scott Dixon and Joseph Newgarden were at the race, and Dixon was talking about running Daytona too. I wonder if they've changed their minds after seeing Helio.
You know what? We need more cross-pollination between the two American series.
That would be more fun. You get Larson running Indy and then get some of the other guys coming over for Daytona.
Why wait for the big one? Run on a smaller racetrack that's not that big of a deal. Hard for NASCAR because they race every weekend, but
yeah.
They could, they could pick when Indy has like one of their like Iowa Saturday night race. They'd go run in that.
That would be, run some IndyCar short tracks. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun. I'll see the NASCAR drivers doing short tracks in an open wheel car.
What happened? Well, I tried to rub, and that did not work out.
Apparently you can't bump draft these things.
Yeah, it went flying. That's interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, after seeing the beating that Elio took, Joseph might be rethinking that, but a shorter track might be fun. Martinsville or Phoenix, where nothing happens anyway. So.
Oh, boring. I saw more commercials for IndyCar watching the broadcast than I saw for NASCAR. Did you notice that at all? They kept showing the Fox IndyCar commercials, and I'm like,
Fox is promoting their own show. Yeah. It's like, and stay tuned after this for General Hospital.
I think that'll be pretty good for ratings if they schedule IndyCar races for after NASCAR and vice versa. That makes sense. The CW opened their coverage this weekend.
How did the Teenage Channel do running NASCAR?
Well, they're one race in, and the broadcast is already leaps and bounds better than Fox's was.
Wow.
The announcers were good. They have on-screen graphics that weren't terrible. They got rid of Fox has those stupid like comic book drawn graphics. Yeah. This one they just have a picture of the car and a normal picture of the driver. Much better.
I don't even need to see the driver to show the car.
Yeah, I don't care what the driver looks like. I want to see the car because I'm going to be looking for that during the race. Yeah, just much better all-around product than Fox. Hopefully, Fox could learn from that.
Fox has a history of not doing so great at sports.
Hopefully, IndyCar goes well, since the NASCAR producers aren't in charge of that one.
I'm going to think positive about Fox's coverage of IndyCar.
Yeah, me too.
Right? All things are possible if you believe.
The commercials have been good, so
yeah.
Hopefully that works out.
I did see that Corey LaJoie made it into the race by raiding his kid's college fund to pay for his race team.
Man.
You can go to welding school. Shut up.
It's a good thing he made it into the race.
I know.
I think just starting gets you at least a few $100,000, so he's probably worked out for him.
Did he have all his kids running his pit crew too?
We're gonna need some good stops, kids.
Grandma, I need somebody for fuel.
He was in that top group there until like the top 5 until that last crash too.
Oh yeah, he probably would have made some money if he hadn't been crashed out.
That was a pretty good run for him.
I'm surprised I didn't see his wife, hunt down Belle for taking away her payday.
Oh, maybe next week.
Oh, well. Well, let's talk paint. I noticed my man Gilligan's in a Love's car. I was going to go with that, and then I realized that Love's is not an adult store. So I guess probably Stenhouse in the Sunny D car, because it just kind of makes you feel happy to look at that car.
It's a good car. Orange and blue.
Yeah. Nobody else had a great car. Like, what's up with the paint?
Yeah, it's a little lame for a Daytona, I think.
Yeah.
That's why I would go with the Air Force One or the Cadillac Limo as my favorite paint schemes. Just solid looking.
Yeah. I mean, we need some talent in there, like 70s album art level paint schemes.
I did like Justin Haley's fire suit, which looked like a Western outfit, and his hat was a cowboy hat that said like Chili's on it or something. Pretty solid.
Call out to Elio Castronemes' Wendy's fire suit, where it looked like he was working the drive-thru. Like, that was barely a step above Stroker Ace in a chicken suit.
It had the apron look on
Yeah.
there.
Would you like fries with that?
Geez, he could be president like that.
Bad paint jobs. I went with Kozlowski and the Cottonelle thing, because, I don't know, that looked like a Coke spoon on the hood. Like, he's going to heat it up, and whatever they do when they heat up Coke, I don't know.
Whatever they do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, they shoot it up or something. I don't know how they do that.
I was not a fan of Bell's car. He's got the yellow DeWalt on the front and then the like green Interstate batteries, which is like two iconic paint schemes, and they just kind of mashed them together to make an awful paint scheme.
It's like when you let Congress figure something out.
Yeah. Hey, you guys like these things, right? We're just going to
Yeah.
put them together. No. No, bad.
I want to know how the Build Submarines car is still there.
Should that be cut by now?
Yeah.
It's already been allocated for the next 5 years, probably. We could still cut it.
Yeah. I thought it'd be gone by now, but
Sorry, Brad. That'll be gone in a few weeks, probably. I should actually message a Doge about it.
yeah, Doge hasn't got there
Hey, it
yet.
seems like a waste.
Doge, have you looked at sponsorships yet? I still don't know why we need a sponsorship program for a government program to give free submarines to Australia, or cheap submarines.
I don't know. It's the government, so they had to use the money or lose it for next year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got to spend it all. Let's spend it on NASCAR. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a bad idea if you got a bunch of money to blow.
What are you doing that for? Well, now we get VIP passes to the race, and we can go check it out.
Oh, right on. I think I'm going to make Cole Custer my driver this year. I knew some Custer boys back in high school when I was on the rodeo club. So I'll make Gilligan my number 2. He's been pretty disappointing last year. I'm going to make him number 2, and I'm going to go with... Plus, he's the Haas car, and, Haas has Formula 1. Lots of tie-ins.
That's true.
Plus, Cole Custer sounds a lot cooler than whatever Gilligan's first name is.
I kind of wish they would have matched the Haas F1 liveries to the NASCAR car more. That'd be cool.
Have you ever seen a Haas car with a cool livery?
No.
Yeah.
I remember when it was Russian, and then they decided that they can't do that anymore.
Yeah. No, they need some 70s album art guys to give them a good one.
There have been rumors that Dodge is going to be bringing the Ram back to the truck series.
Oh, well, they need to do something to help with sales.
They could bring back the K car.
Oh, the K car. The finest motorcraft engineering minimum wage can buy.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
You know what? It was Dodge / Chrysler that gave us the minivan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Actually, the guy that created the Mustang at Ford, then he followed Iacocca over to Chrysler and came up with the minivan. Yeah. How'd he go from the Mustang to the minivan?
Right to jail.
Yeah.
Right to jail. Guantanamo Bay for him.
You're getting doxxed in this era for that one. The minivan is like the biggest seller other than like the F-150.
And thankfully, someone invented the SUV to make it okay to have a family car again.
Yeah. I call the Suburban as the Mormon minivan because Mormons ain't driving a minivan. But they do need like 26 seats, so.
Oh. I would take a new Viper if Dodge wanted to start making those again. Those were fun.
Can they make it cool? But, don't do like Corvette and just try to make it look like an Italian supercar. Like, actually come up with something interesting.
Just a violently American car.
Yeah. Like the second generation Corvette, the like 70s one with the skinny middle, and that was a cool car.
Yeah.
And then they tried to go all European.
Now they're trying to be a supercar. Oh, well, coming up next, week 2 of 190 of the NASCAR season. We're going to head to the Atlanta for the FU. NASCAR says we're going pack racing again, 400.
Oh, but only 400 this time.
Yeah, so all the guys in the body shop, get ready, because you're going to be fixing some more cars.
Yeah, NASCAR doesn't give them much time to get the cars fixed.
No.
I'm thinking you got to have like 3 backup cars in NASCAR because
now that they can change out the parts and pieces of the car, like the whole front clip or back clip, it makes it a lot easier to get the cars ready.
Let's go on to F1.
Well, the livery announcement was today, and
I totally forgot about that.
Did you miss it? Oh man, you really missed out on some fast forwarding. Thank God for that fast forward button.
Did I record it? No, I didn't even do that.
No, it's on YouTube. You can go back through and watch the entire thing as it aired.
I'll get right on that.
So, all the liveries are all pretty much the same, I saw.
Wait, did Ferrari go darker red this year?
Yeah, about the same. They got like a white stripe.
Ooh.
So the HP shows up better.
Oh, yeah.
What else did I notice? The Red Bull's car is white. And that's about it. I do appreciate the crowd booing the FIA and making fun of the swearing ban. That was...
I'm sure British people were really excited about the swearing ban. They never swear in Britain.
No.
It's a land of good manners.
There were at least 10 performances where I knew none of the people.
Oh, they had performances?
Oh, yeah. And before each car came out, they did like a 1 or 2 minute video presentation thing. I don't know. I fast forwarded through a lot of it just to see the liveries, but it was interesting.
Maybe I'll just do like the news thing with the pictures and be done with it.
Yeah, the pictures is probably just what I'll look for.
In Formula One news, 3 men accused of blackmailing Michael Schumacher's family with threats to distribute images, videos, and medical reports. Charges were dropped when German authorities discovered the money was actually coming from USAID.
Oh, shut down. Why would they do that?
Yeah. It's just American money? It's not really a crime. We all do it. Also in F1, they're going to require a minimum of 2 pit stops at the Monaco race this year.
Oh, wow. I'm going to expect super speedway levels of passing after this ruling.
Is that really going to make a difference, 1 extra pit stop?
Are they just hoping there's a mistake or something like that would change things up? I don't see any sort of effect that having.
I really think they need to either A, move it to somewhere else around Monaco where you can pass, or B, just knock down some buildings and widen that track.
Yeah, let me just get in there with... I'll just start marking buildings to tear down in Monaco. I'm sure no one will mind. And it's okay. It'll improve the racing product.
There's a few ugly buildings from the 50s and 60s, so maybe just a couple areas, like a couple passing zones, knock a few buildings down there and widen it.
Let's get rid of that swimming pool and widen that out. You don't need a swimming pool right there. That's dumb. There's the ocean right next to it.
Widen the tunnel, because a lot of exciting things tend to happen in the tunnel.
That stupid chicane right at the end of the tunnel. I bet we could do something with that.
Yeah, well, get rid of it for one.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, or you know what? Make it so you can, like the chicane is optional.
Ooh, You get like 2 Joker laps per race or something. You could just skip the chicane if you feel like it.
Yeah, you can skip it. Like if you take the chicane, there's a shortcut a little further down. You know, like what's that off-road racing where you get like option of 2 different courses of parts of it,
Where you,
like nitro racing or something like that.
You have to run the optional lap like once per the race or something.
Yeah, we could do some of that.
The Red Bull team principal, Christian Horner, said that the hardest part of the 2026 formula will be the fuel, since the engine manufacturer must produce their own fuel from non-carbon renewable sources.
And USAID is no longer a renewable source, which it has been for so long time.
Sorry, Europe. I wonder how much of the actual funding of European things was coming out of that bundle of cash.
Yeah. Well, how much USAID money was helping?
Along with European media and everything else. Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of media companies were getting a big chunk of cash from the government.
Weird how that worked out.
Wow. I was wondering how they're all. I keep thinking the fuel thing is going to get dropped. The renewable, because it's hard enough to create this new engine that's 50-50 electric. You got to go invent a fuel.
Like what?
And it can't be like ethanol that you grow from corn. No, it's got to be like algae from the pond out and back.
That seems like a massive expense to build a fuel making whole procedure for like, what are you going to use over the course of a season? Like 1,000 gallons of it? Like a whole process for making fuel that's only going to be 1,000+ gallons?
Yeah,
that seems like a waste of money.
Do you get to go over the budget cap to build a refinery to create this fuel? Or I know that, currently they all use the same base fuel, but they all have different additives and mixtures that works with their engine. But to create your own fuel, or I guess they can buy it from somewhere, but it's got to, like I say, it's got to be a renewable source, which...
Can't they just pay someone to say it's a renewable source?
Oh, yeah. Oh, just like carbon credits.
Yeah, it'll just be like, here's $50,000.
Oh.
This is now renewable.
Is that a renewable source? No, but we gave some money to Black Lives Matter, so...
Yeah, perfectly fine now.
We bought some credits. The Democratic Republic of Congo has sent a letter to Formula One asking them not to have a race in Rwanda, calling it a war-torn, blood-stained country. F1 agreed, and instead will move the race to Ukraine.
When are they going to be moving the Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabian, Mexico, British, and Abu Dhabi Grand Prix also? When are those moving?
Are there any races not in a blood-stained country anywhere?
I'm sure at some place, every country is at a war at some point.
Yeah.
Is it just that war is, what was it, 30, 40 years ago when they were Rwanda? Or was it even...
I think 20 or 30. It was the Hutus and the Tutsis, which that whole separation was created by the French, who divided them up into the attractive natives and the non-attractive natives. So the attractive ones got all the good jobs, being servants versus working in the mines.
Oh.
That sounds a lot more like Germans, though, but no, that was the French. Good job, French. No wonder they don't like colonialism. I have no idea why.
Interesting.
What's next up on F1? We're still testing.
We've got testing coming up in is that next
2
week?
weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 3 weeks testing. Actually, testing's kind of interesting because you do kind of find out who's going to have the fast car.
Yeah, they do a lot of time out on the track, like a couple of 8-hour days. It's pretty interesting to watch.
Then they always have it in Spain where it's really cold and matches none of the racing conditions in the rest of the year.
That's right.
Yeah, so
it's not helpful at all.
You know where the good place to test would be somewhere in the Southwest right now.
That seems expensive to ship everything out.
Yeah, they're F1. They could do it. They can afford to develop a whole new fuel. They could do that.
Moving on to IndyCar news. Rinus VeeKay gets the last open seat with Dale Coyne. I can think of some pretty fun nicknames for Rinus here coming up this season. We'll see.
Oh, yeah. I wonder, what is Renus's nickname going to be?
I don't know.
Oh, stay tuned for the next show.
Renus.
What was the Formula One guy that had the inappropriate nickname? It wasn't, well, Botas, we call him Botox because he wasn't pretty and could use some Botox, but there were, Olivier Panis.
Ah, Olivier Panis.
What's his nickname going to be? I don't know.
I also miss Mike Crack.
Oh. Wait, was there a Mike Hunt? No, that was James Hunt.
James Hunt.
That's right. In other news, IndyCar is switching from mag wheels to aluminum wheels, but not until 2027.
Didn't they learn a lesson on using magnesium in the car?
I don't know. Nicky Lauda once said magnesium changed his life, so I don't know why they wouldn't use the metal that burns and cannot be extinguished in a racing car.
I hope they fixed it.
Yeah, like they've been using mag wheels now for quite some time, and we haven't seen them catch on fire yet. But
Well, maybe they got another additive in there that keeps that from happening.
I think my brother, who's a firefighter, I asked him, "How do you put out magnesium fire?" And he's like, "Stand back, massive quantities of sand, maybe." I don't know. They might. I don't even think their foam, firefighting foam, will put out magnesium.
Leave.
Yeah, just. I asked him, what do you do if there's like a nuclear event? And he's like, get way, way back. It's like nobody's going into the nuclear event. Well, for other racing this weekend, we have nothing because we didn't pay attention.
Nope. I was busy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there were some sports cars, and I know they were having a rally somewhere up in snow country in Europe, but I didn't pay attention to that either.
Sadly, I missed the Formula E race. Maybe next time I'll watch that.
I think I watched the very first one and then just never got back around to it. That was the one where they had to switch cars in the middle of the race because the battery wouldn't last through a race.
Oh, yeah. They did that for a year or two where they had to just switch cars.
Did they finally figure out how to get a battery that'll go the whole race?
They run the full race now with one car.
But they changed tires, right?
I don't know if they do.
It's not like Indy Lights where they don't even have a pit stop.
I don't think they need to stop. I don't think they changed the tires. It's like a short race. Under an hour.
It's not even like a primer series, right? Where like, oh, I'm a Ferrari young driver. I'm going to do some Formula E for a while before I move up. No.
It seems more like I didn't make it in F1, so here's Formula E.
Like a retirement series.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I've got a lot of money, but I'm not good enough for real race cars.
Lance Stroll?
Yeah.
Oh.
Lance Stroll's got a future in sports cars. Hey, we should do bets on how long Lance Stroll lasts in that car.
This season?
I was thinking this might be his last season. Because Adrian knew he's going to be over there going, I made that car a lot faster than that.
We'll see how many more points Alonso scores this year. It's gonna be.
Well, last year, I think the gap from Alonso to Stroll was smaller than the gap from Verstappen to Perez.
Yikes.
Well, that's it for this weekend. We were going to make fun of politics, but we decided not to because we didn't want to get booted off YouTube again.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.